And you knew the minute you met him on that set that it was game over.
I met him. I had a dream about him that night. So I met him the day before the screen test because he had never screen tested for anything before. He was green. He didn't even know what a screen test was. So they brought him in to sort of walk him through it. I just happened to be there because I was working, because I worked 12 to 14 hours every day.
60 pages.
Yeah, 60 pages. That was your day. And so I just happened to be there getting a coffee, and Judy Bly Wilson, who was the casting director at the time, said, "Oh, how fortunate. Kelly, this is Mark. He's one of the Mateos. You're going to be screen testing him tomorrow." And I don't know how I knew. I don't know how I knew, but I knew that that we would be together forever. I had a cognizant thought of that in my head, which still doesn't make any sense to me. I went home that night. I dreamed about him, that we were on a plane together, flying to Rome, and we had a baby. We had a baby girl. She had red feety pajamas. Okay. I'm not kidding. And the next day, in front of the other 9 Mateos, I walk up to him and I go, "Hi, do you remember me from yesterday?" And he said, he looks at me like I'm insane. And he's like, "Yes." And now, like, there's a hush in the room, right?
Because people are probably feeling the energy.
Well, the other Mateos are listening. And I said to him, "I had a dream about you last night, that we were on an airplane together flying to Rome, and we had a baby daughter."
Psycho,
right? Psycho vibes. Call HR, call the network, call everyone, call the police.
Get Betty Broderick out of here.
And he says, to his credit, because he's unflappable, as you know him.
Yeah.
He says, "Have you ever been to Rome?" And I said, now I can't believe he's talking to me, just like in my dreams. And I said, "No, never." And he said, now listen to the word, "We used to live in Italy. You would love it."
And you had no idea.
I was like, "We? Who's we?" So, and then he walks away, leaving me with the other Mateos. He just leaves. And I'm like, "Who is we?" So then Eva LaRue and I got together and we tried to figure out who we was. We.
Because you weren't sure if he was married. He wasn't sure if he was talking
married?
about.
He looks like he's 15 years old. How can he be married? And then Eva was like, "Well, outside of New York, people start really young. Maybe he's got a family." We just didn't know. We could not figure out who we was.
No internet. By the way, no Instagram.
No cell phone, no Googling. There was none of that. It didn't exist. So we was just all in my mind. We meant like his parents and his siblings. But at the time, we meant his wife, his children. How can this be? How can he have a wife and kids already? He's supposed to be with me. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you hired a PI?
No. As a matter of fact, ABC hired him, and through a course of like regular conversations, like people used to have, I found out that we meant his family. He was raised in Italy until he was 7 years old. And that's how I found out who we was.